Recording this video after close of trade Wednesday, 24th of July 2013. Well, that's more like it. A couple of down days and some nice little short trades. Kind of enjoyed those. Saying on Monday how I just thought we were running out of puff. You know, top of Everest, run out of oxygen. Each step higher is harder and harder. And that's what I was seeing with these kind of no demand, low volume type days, Rambo patterns, all that type stuff kind of happening up here. But today the activity picked up a little bit, 1.3 million contracts traded. When you look at this on the continuous contracts, you can see kind of the lack of buying at the highs. So this is on the daily chart at ES. You know, we had our exhaustion buying on this left shoulder. This is a bit of a rush for the doors of this kind of selling going on, and now we've come back. It's really weak. You know, we had a little bit of kind of strength there, but it's less than the peak, so it's just rolling off Rambo patterns. And if you look at it on the weekly chart, here we go, we're setting up for like a bearish divergence on the weekly chart here. Amateur up bars, Rambo patterns at the highs there. You know, this move was all set off by this exhaustion selling in 2011. Blue professional bars, double bottom, bang, we set off, and this exhaustion buying is showing the strength of the buying going on at this point. We had a test down with an amateur down bar, and then we kind of kept going to the highs. Now we're kind of doing the reverse. So we've got our exhaustion buying, blue professional bars at the highs, testing, amateur down bar here, amateur up bars here. Happens to be a Rambo pattern at this point because we've broken the new highs, and we're kind of just setting up for a little bit of bearish divergence. So wait and see. It's kind of slowly happening, but just show you these other charts because we've got cyclical turns again. I said on Monday these things are kind of lining up, and we're starting to see them kind of ripple through all the other markets. So just going through these quickly. Here's the euro contract, and it was interesting. Last night we had kind of people saying with strong manufacturing PMI numbers coming out of Europe, the European recession is over. Well, we'll see. I don't know about that. My surfboard shop in Biarritz, I just found out, was gone bust. And it's a pretty sad day in France when a surfboard shop in Biarritz goes bust. But anyway, it just shows the lack of the economy kind of over there, and a shop that had been around for literally a decade or more. So anyway, a little anecdote. Rambo patterns, amateur up bars. Here's the point. We've got this cyclical turning point in the euro happening. So just be wary. That's kind of happening over the next couple of days. So things will get interesting. And you can see that going off in a whole bunch of charts. Here's Aussie dollar. So it came in yesterday. We had weak numbers out of China. PMI was down. So Aussie dollar got sold down again. So that's a pullback and a downtrend. Well signaled. We knew it was going to happen at some point. So there's an opportunity to kind of re-enter short on a daily chart here on the Aussie. Canadian, we've overshot it here on the Canadian on this, but we're coming back down again. British pound, again, cyclical turning point. A few days away for the British pound there. Japanese yen, a couple of days away again. Dollar index, here we go. Kind of not unlike the euro chart because euro is such a big component. Dollar index, there we go. We've got that cyclical turn coming up in the next couple of days. So we're Thursday and Friday. We've still got some good days trading to go. On the other markets, same thing. So last couple of days with bonds, so we've got the pullback level kind of come in here. So we had a bit of a down day here, but I think we're going to test, and if we do get a collapse in the market or starting of that, the bonds will start to turn around. Crude. So I hope everybody who was into this long crude trade kind of took profits. We had about a 10-point rise from when I put out the video about $98 up to 108, and we had exhaustion buying and bearish divergence come here and an amateur up bar here at 108. So we've just run out of puff temporarily. We'll come back and we'll form a pullback level or some kind of test back down into this 100 to 105 type level, and then start to take off again. I mean, that'll be the true test of a strong trend. So let's see where that goes. Gold. So I said gold weight. Everybody's getting a little bit too excited about gold. There's the resistance coming on the daily chart, cyclical resistance, and we kind of sold off a little bit. Still think we've got to test back down, one little kind of move back down, and to make sure that this is over, and then a break above the highs of that daily resistance will be good. Silver, same thing, just coming back. Just need to wait a second for this. Still rolling over on copper. So just those turning points are kind of happening in the next couple of days, so that's kind of interesting, and so that could mean that things are starting to shift a little bit. And on the 40,500 tip-hour chart, as I said, we've got pullback to end of trend, second cyclical turn after end of trend. It's interesting, I sometimes forget some of my rules, but when the exhaustion patterns happens on the end of trend, you wait for the second cyclical turn after end of trend. And that's where we kind of topped out, just under 1700, and we've had this first sign of weakness on this move down. So note all the support levels been holding on this last kind of move up. Support held, support held, support held, and if anything we were kind of overshooting the resistance. Overshoot here, overshoot here. We don't overshoot here, so that's potentially kind of weak. We overshoot the support level, so that's showing the first real kind of signs of weakness here. Look at better momentum, very weak, and so on. So interesting. 13,500 tip bar chart. It was a nice little pullback to end of trend sequence with exhaustion on the left shoulder, Rambo patterns at these highs, flush pattern here, and then we kind of bunch of blue professional bars at the end of the day. But we'll see. They're possibly taking their time about kind of getting positioned. Wait and see. Anyway, as I said, we had some nice little signals on the downside. Now, today's activity, I was actually in my bed reading a book on the history of central banking, sad to say, just coming up to midnight Sydney time. Then checked what was going on in the markets, and this sell-off had already begun. So I was in way late to this. The first trade I took was short 84.50, which I think was, what am I looking at? Wrong day. Here we go. So this is Wednesday's activity. So the first trade I got in short 84.50, which was on a retrace. I'm pretty sure it was this one, yeah. I was waiting for the pullback to end of trend sequence on the 1500 tip bar chart, so got short here. Just picked off a point here. But the point I want to make on this chart is this exhaustion selling. It's interesting in the full light of the day, once you see the trade happened and this thing kind of did bottom with a pullback to end of trend kind of sequence here, and bullish divergence, flush patterns, and so on. So looking at this one, pullback to end of trend, and we definitely got some strength after here, and we'd had seemingly exhaustion selling on a left shoulder, bullish divergence, flush patterns kind of come in. And I did actually try to go long here at 85 even, and then 84.75 for each of these kind of moves. Neither of them kind of worked out. But if you look at what happened with this exhaustion selling pattern here, it was during this sequence. And so is that really exhaustion selling that is ending a move where people have just given up entirely? And it's not. It's actually just on that little retrace, people just anxious selling through that level at 86, 87. They were just, that was a key level of support. We bounced off it, and then all of a sudden people said, right, bang, we've got to get on board this, kind of going short. And when you look back at the bigger charts, that level was actually key. So we're saying kind of 86, 87. You can see we'd found it as support over the last couple of days, here, and end of trend. And then as soon as to get through that level, we had that kind of burst of selling, getting this thing going. So I was a little bit confused whether that was kind of exhaustion selling ending this move. Really would have been properly, signaled by coming in on this point here, and then we would have had a pro signal exit with all those blue professional bars. Really, what that was doing was just taking us through that level, because that was an important level to break. And then we knew the downtrend was on, because every time we came back into the highs, we had blue professional bars. So we had Rambo patterns down here. So the amateurs are getting short too early. They're thinking we're going to break to new lows at this point, and we get bounces off there. But they're the blue professional bars coming on the retrace here, and that was a beauty to kind of go short. So that was my best trade of the day. And what was I doing? I was short again at 84.25, and I got bored with it, so I came out at 81.25 for 3, but it was good for the 4 all the way down. So that was the clue that we were kind of going to go for another kind of move down, and then it drops through support, and there's the blue professional bars start to come in again down here at the bottom, and that was kind of the end of the move for the end of the day. Anyway, so I'll tag that one on, but it's starting to get interesting after some incredibly boring up days and low volume type days. So all of a sudden, let's see. Anyway, I hope your trading's going well. 84.25, short 84.25, and I'm going to stop some targets. I was starting this day late trading and missed the 10-point decline that we've had, and seemingly we've kind of had a little bit of a complex bottom and correction, but every time we come back up, complex correction on the way up, blue professional bars kind of coming in. Blue professional bar coming through the support here on 500, hopefully takes us into a trend move on the way down. This is all the blue professional bars each time we come back up here and here. So the question is this enough in terms of ending this move? Exhaustion selling on a left shoulder. We had a couple of flush patterns, but I don't think so. I think this is looking weak, so all the blue fresh bars come in. We got, oh, here we go, resistance come in. So I think we're going to plumb the lows. So we're talking about 225 as the low. So let's see if this speeds up. It's been pretty quiet. It's just gone 11 AM. So let's hope this turns into a trend move and we'll go down resistance to support on 45 and see where this gets to. Here we go, breaking through support on 1500 tip bar chart now. So we just had a little bit of retrace out up bars, and all of a sudden it's getting a bit jumpy. We're at 325s, 3, so within a hair's breadth of the low at 225, and as soon as we go through that, all of a sudden stops to be run and things to get interesting. So come on, let's keep going. Here we go, we just hit those stops, bang, right through 175, and so we've got an exhaustion pattern here. It's getting nice and fast. 80.25 is my target, so blue professional bar come in here. It's only 5,000 at the moment here. We're through support, so it's weak. We got time to run in terms of resistance to support on 4,500. This has got to go pull back to end of trend. 9,000 now. What would be a decent reading? What was this one? It was almost 11. So come on. Usually there's a little bit of a bounce around a previous low, but no, they just launched through it, just took it straight through. Down at 1.25, we got an exhaustion pattern in, minus 9,000. No blue professional bars yet, a little bit of a Rambo, so you can have a little bit of a bounce from there. I'm trying to eke out the extra point down at 80.25. See if we just kind of fall off the ledge. 81 even now. So come on, we could all of a sudden just go, it's all over. 80.25, so 80's another even number as well, so come on. Down 81.25, just for 3. I just decided to come out because Rambo pattern and exhaustion selling, and we can get big bounces from that. So I just don't want to sit through a retrace. Quite happy with that 3 points. I was in a little bit late to that trade, so that's fine. It'll go pull back to end of trend, but it's late. It's 11:17 AM. It's 2 in the morning here, so in Sydney. I'll give it a rest there.